She talking about all that junk and whatnot. I'm live now. Let me see. I'm gonna go screen share.
And motherfuckers. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
What? Oh shit.
Two popsicles out the freezer. And still back. Cause I'm over here shaking, so I already know what time it is. Right. Ain't nothing but cereal, right? Oh, my food. That's what I need. Yeah. Okay. I need that before you get on the thing right there. Take that foil off and warm that up, please. And take the foil off and take the fork out the plate. I think the fork's still on. I don't know how this works. You know what I'm saying? I think I left the fork on the plate, did I? Nope. Okay. I'm sure it's shake. That's the only reason why. Okay, shaking. Don't even know why the hell I'm shaking this shit. That's what I can tell you. That's why I don't know what the hell. I ate that cereal, so I feel fine. Except for me, I'm starting to shake. You feel fine? Good afternoon, sir. Hot cereal, and if it's in the freeze, I really do. You gave me the freeze. It's right here. I said it's in the freeze. I know. It's supposed to be in the freeze. Yeah. Oh yeah. It won't fit on the top no more. What? It won't fit up there on the top. Another egg.
We're gonna see.
Thank you.
Let me tell you what. I don't know what that is. I don't have no rights to that song, so whatever you hear, it's not mine. So. Yeah. Yes. Hey, Miss Benny. See, I will add you to this hangout. It's just so let me see. Do you want to get on the hangout? Shoot. And we're gonna be talking about the Trump boxes and that video. Look, you're gonna play Sade.
You know, it just cycles through all the music. Oh, sure, hope you don't have none of my peer bottles. Hope we still mind energy.
You can see only me.
Now, if you keep pushing that camera. Keep turning that shit, you gonna see me back here going. Did I turn it down enough?
This is my friend.
Did I turn it down enough? I guess I did. You saying shit.
Don't you be going on Hangouts on your computer? To go to heaven. Hear me out. I want you to show me how I can look up other motherfuckers. Well, no, I gotta do about the shit about the Trump box. Like, Miss Minnie, what do you see so far? Okay, they can only see me. Well, they can see what's on my laptop. Oh, damn, for real? It's like a 30-second delay. What the fuck? This is the thing that a lot of people getting at. That's this video that this woman is sharing. When I say boo, you know what non-perishable foods is, right?
Yes.
What is non-perishable food?
Why are you asking me? I'm not even sure.
No, I'm asking if you know.
Yes, the stuff that can last shelf life, has a long shelf life.
I want to share this.
It don't need to be
By the way, fair
refrigerated.
use. By the way, fair use.
It does not.
Does this look like perishable food?
It does not need to be refrigerated or anything.
No. Does this look like non-perishable?
No, non-perishable. It can be stuff like powdered milk, maybe instant potatoes.
But I don't see nothing in the fucking can. She's showing them like it look like some type of Meals on Wheel type of thing. No, they can't see you. They can only see this.
Maybe she got a.
No, it's not.
Some of them senior citizens.
No, because what happened was DJ was investigating this, and we found out that she got it from a good thing. She got it from a web. She got it from a business. I forgot their name.
Food delivery service.
Yeah, well, they don't deliver it; they mail it. Yeah. So this video was very perfidious, as I said. It's very deceitful. And then on top of that, it's part of the 2019 proposal. So they have to make a proposal, and it has to pass through Congress before it can become law. So I don't get it. You see all that shit.
Your ass clean took care of
Let's see, that's the thing. It's a very deceitful video. I swear. Why do people believe the first thing they see it's true?
Because it's the first information they have on something.
But it's part of the proposal.
It's the first information they have on something.
And they take it and run with it. Take it and run with it. Like when everybody said Cat Williams jumped on that young kid and got beat up, I said, I'm gonna laugh at y'all when the rest of the story comes out. That's why you don't be quick to assume pass judgment. You have to wait till all the facts are out. And that's the thing. This will not be part of it. This where my mouse is.
Oh shit.
Not be a part. This will not be a part of it. This will not be a part of it. Because this don't look like non-perishables. And that's the shit that gets me. And see, there's something. He wants to reduce the amount of fraud that people get. And didn't you say people who get on food stamps, they think it's free money?
A lot of people.
It ain't fucking free.
Well, uneducated people and people that were raised on food stamps tend to believe that any government assistance that they're given is free money because they've never worked for it. Truth of the matter is, it's not free money. It comes off the backs of the taxpayers.
I'm looking for that.
Yeah, I'm at least kind of take it too.
This is.
That shit comes off the backs of taxpayers. So that's just like everybody complains about insurance. You're paying for other people anyway, because every time they get sniffles or a headache or something, they run to the emergency room.
Yeah.
And you should never think in your own right
Nephew was on this, so
that people go
don't mind it.
to the hospital and don't have to pay because somebody's paying for it. And it's a taxpayer. Taxpayers pay for everything. Paying for the roads that people drive on.
Tax.
Everything comes from taxpayers.
And what if people get tired of supporting you?
Only documents let you earn pieces of my rewards points when you order my
The government has to change the rules. That's all I can see.
I'm gonna play something.
That's all they're trying to people get food stamps in certain places. They're deciding to drug test.
You can't be mad because that's part of the program. Ain't that like you don't hear people getting pissed off when jobs want to drug test people? Yeah.
They do.
But it's part of the requirement.
I've never thought drug testing was fair. It comes to jobs because you have people that are alcoholics.
Yeah.
I mean,
functioning alcoholics and bad alcoholics, as you say.
People that are serious alcoholics, and alcohol don't stay in the system like certain drugs. Just like crack don't stay in the system that long. You can be a crackhead.
So that's why I'm going live.
You can be a crackhead and can't get a job.
Yes, I know I was wrong.
Yeah.
I ain't have no business going out like that, but
It's not going to show the video of her being shot.
yes.
I'm like, can you hear
I
that?
am sorry, y'all.
Fair use.
Big Nunu,
I'm using this by way of fair use.
So I had to go out live on Morris phone. I ain't had no intention of going live like that. I apologize to everybody. Yes. No, huh? Yes, that's her. Let me see the phone door. No. Yes. Yes, Aunt Lola. Yes. Yeah, Rick. Yeah, she on the phone.
She on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't worry about the police right now. Bitch, I don't give a fuck about no fucking police, man.
You heard?
Okay.
Hold up.
Kind of sad.
No, it was just I apologize because I couldn't go live on my phone. My page is blocked.
So, it's gonna be famous. I'm gonna make a motherfucker famous.
No.
I'm gonna be famous. I'm gonna make you famous.
No.
You hear all this?
Everybody wanna be famous, let's be famous.
Okay.
Huh? I do.
Yes.
Telling you you don't need this devil.
No.
Oh yeah. Bustin'.
Stop jumping! Stop jumping!
Now it's game over.
Tomorrow at 10:30 on CBS.
Oh, hell no.
Do you hear that? Oh yeah, let me go. Let me do this.
Oh, Mom. They're carrying clean today.
Yeah, and San Antonio, their star player ain't playing.
The game didn't really come on. My God, you can't tell forget.
Look at him. You don't even really keep up with basketball.
I'm saying how like you know.
Who that?
You begin to sleep. Let's play Thompson. Check
What position he play?
The one he beat your mom at for.
Yo, daddy, nigga. Oh yeah, I'm finna. I gotta find me.
Your ass be sleep. That's why you don't know how to sit here and watch basketball. Or you be doing that right there, you don't never pay no attention to what I'm doing. I could be laying right here from another dude and you'll never know. But you be all up in YouTube. Wait another nigga bed.
I ain't sweating nobody right now. I'm just showing.
Pulling another man's balls.
Oh shit. I'm finna do this though. I'm finna.
Like, oh, for that man and you do for me. No,
I'm just showing.
Pulling another man's balls.
Look. Maybe say, ooh. Finna do this though. I'm finna.
Like, oh, that man and you do for me. No,
I'm just showing.
Pulling another man's balls.
Look. It plays it back. It has a 30-second delay. That's why.
Okay.
What's up, Beat? You want a wrench? That's $20. Finna do this though. I'm finna.
Like, oh, that man and you do for me. No,
I'm just showing.
Pulling another man's balls.
Look. It plays it back. It has a 30-second delay. That's why.
Okay.
What's up, Pete? One rich, that's $20.
Stop.
Quit messing with me.
I'm not messing with you.
Yes, you are.
I am not.
Ooh, wee.
Why do you lie on me?
Let's see.
You know what? I'm be gone. We can't have no real estate.
Damn, what you gonna be going? Would you come back at like 9?
I'm not telling you what time I'll come back.
Yeah,
It's a
just
setup.
wow.
Well, I tell you what time I'll come back. Whatever you're doing,
And this is fascinating because the Trumpistas, the Republicans, just released a budget which is going to cut Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, food stamps. It's going to cut everything, right? It's right across the board, hundreds of billions, trillions, $3 trillion in cuts over a 10-year period. $300 billion a year. And what that means is that during bad times, things are so much worse. One of the basic rules of economics and politics that the Republicans have broken this year is that when the economy is on a tear, when the stock market's up, when wages are up, when unemployment is down, when the economy is doing well, that's when you raise taxes, raise revenues, and to the extent that you can, reduce spending. And typically you can when the economy is doing well because you're not spending as much on unemployment benefits, you're not spending as much on food stamps, you're not spending as much on aid to people because they have jobs, right? When you've got full employment in your economy, your government expenditures go down. So during a time like this last couple of years have been, that is when the government should be raising taxes and squirreling away money, storing money for the winter that's going to come, which inevitably comes. Bull markets never last more than 7 to 9 years. And we're 9 years into one right now. Well, arguably 8 years, but still. You could say
I need somebody's opinion that's non-biased.
This bull market, when it ends, if the end of the market means that you're going to see a rise in unemployment, you're going to see a lowering of the employment rate, you're going to see more and more people out of work, you're going to see more people asking for workers' compensation or for unemployment benefits, you're going to see more people signing up for food stamps and for Medicaid.
Okay. Now I'm going to show you why this is kind of. I need somebody that's non-biased. Go. Hit the like button, B.
I just like this stuff.
Fair use. I'm using this by way of fair use.
Okay, so salute to everyone that's fallen in. Yesterday I was at 120 subscribers. Now I'm closing in on 200. if you are a long-time subscriber of mine, you know that I get to 0 to 1,000 real quick, meaning subscribers. It's very, very easy for me to gather a lot of subscribers. I average about 1,000 subscribers a month. So I'm not going to take away from anything. I'm going to keep the same formula, even though the audience isn't that big. But you know it will grow very, very soon. All right, let's get into it.
All right.
We got one of the biggest responses from you on our 10 News Facebook page today. The federal government has a plan to revamp the food stamp program by lowering the cash assistance for a box of food.
Head to WTSB.com/vote now and tell us, what do you think is the best for families using SNAP, food stamps, or food boxes?
Agencies tell 10 News reporter Isabel Mascareñas the president's proposal would hurt the
Well, at least
hungry
they get half, at least half of stuff will be healthy. Compared to half will be bullshit. They're buying carbonated drinks and juice, sweet ass sugary drinks. Look at that. I'll eat that.
These produce are cut. We won't be able to keep up with the need. Simply will not be able to keep up with the need.
The federal government proposes reducing food stamp cash and replacing it with a box of non-perishable foods.
A strategy of a box of food takes us back 30 years.
The USDA estimates the program American Harvest Box would save $129 billion over a decade.
Wow.
Sandra Frank, All Faiths Food Bank CEO, says Harvest Box isn't the solution to feeding the poor.
And that's the direction that all food banks are going.
But
It's away from
who thought it that they poor?
Towards fresh, and that has to do with the.
If you're in a, if you're poor, why would you bring a child into a poor situation?
He shops for his own food.
Yeah, I don't want something somebody else has picked for me to have.
At All Faiths, clients pick the foods they like to eat based on their needs.
I don't know that they could accommodate everybody.
They can.
Frank says the government should be giving more, not less, to food stamp recipients.
These are the very sustaining programs for the most vulnerable in our community.
In Sarasota, Isabel Mascareñas.
Exactly.
I'm Alex Brand. I'm keeping an eye on how.
But people with food stamps are 9 times out of 10 not going to buy what you just saw.
What you think is best for families using SNAP? The majority of you at this point in time are saying it's food stamps. Again, this has really gotten you talking online, and I'm going to break down pros and cons.
See,
so this is what Trump meant when he said draining the swamp. He wants to drain the swamp, right? He wants to stop food stamps. He wants to stop food stamps and exchange
80%
food stamps for a box of food. Americans are not going to like that. And when I say Americans, I mean the Americans who depend on the government for dental, healthcare, vision, and food, right? You may say, well, what about a safety net? See, America is going into a time where you are going to have to do for yourself. Take care of yourself. That safety net that you needed to fall back on, provided by the government, those days are numbered. Now, this isn't implemented yet. However, I do believe it will go into law.
What he just said, it hasn't been
also believe
implemented
Americans
yet.
don't like Trump because of this here, not because of immigration.
You heard him say it has not been implemented yet. And a lot of people not going to like it because he's, what did you say? Fucking with their money, which really ain't theirs. You just fucking with their, what they normally buy. 9 times out of 10 is bullshit, ain't it, boo? They buy junk.
People don't like the fact that they won't have a choice.
It's a government program. If you don't like it, then hey, can't you just get up and do it on your own?
Some can.
Like, okay, like remember we went to Walmart, we bought all that food and that I know that motherfucker thought we had food stamps. I was like, nope. We did not. We spent like what?
No, we didn't, but I wish we did.
I couldn't catch nobody selling them. We spent like what? Almost 300.
That hurt.
But that's how it is. Yeah, they're selling their stamps for dope. I'm like, selling their stamps for money or what they actually buy for bullshit. Some actually sold it.
Stamps so they could have cash so they could buy shit like cigarettes.
There was a woman that sold. She sold $400 worth of her stamps.
Hair.
Yeah, I was about to say just so she could buy some tacky yaki. And she sold her stamps for fucking for some damn weed.
Not because of his stance on immigration. The majority of Americans agree with Trump on immigration.
Yes, I agree with
They have
many.
a problem with him
I agree. Groceries are high as hell.
taking the food that their children need and they need out of their mouth. You are going to see a lot of single mothers have to turn in their cars. They're not going to be able to pay for insurance. They're going to have to choose, put a roof over my and my children's.
Wait a minute. Did you hear that? How food stamps it's pretty much not redeemable for cash, as the law says. So how is that going to affect the way your car and your roof? How's that going to affect the way you provide for your family? It's fucking food. I'm like, people, all food. Hey, my wife don't eat beans. But one day, if she does get hungry enough, she'll eat a bean.
I die. I will not eat beans.
Beans are good for you. They're high in protein.
They also bad for you if you have too many of them. They have fiber as well.
Yeah, they're good in fiber. That's why people be looking at me when I say I like lima beans. But
here's the thing that you don't understand. Not only do I have a heart condition.
Okay, you got a heart condition.
But my other medical issues, there are reasons why I can't have certain things.
Like?
I mean, I'm just telling you, certain things I cannot have. And
I doubt beans is one of them.
It depends on what doctor you talk to.
Okay.
Ted, and do it without government assistance, which is going to be very hard if you are a single mother. Hell, it's very hard even though you may have a father or a co-parent at home. People aren't going to get what they want, meaning food stamps, right? They get their EBT card, they go to the store, and they buy whatever they want on the taxpayer's dime, which I have a huge problem with, right? I should, because my taxes are going to undocumented immigrants.
Yep.
Right? Undocumented immigrants, illegal immigrants should not be using government handouts.
Here's another problem that you run into. Like I said,
Speak louder.
Everybody is so worried about, when I told you, you have people that have allergies.
Oh, that's
people that have certain kind of diets that can't eat certain foods. Okay, if you start giving people a bunch of food that's filled with sodium, then you're looking at another problem. So are you doing it? You're going to end up driving up healthcare.
But here's the thing, though. I'm pretty sure
the same healthcare that the taxpayers are paying for other people.
I'm pretty sure the discrepancies between that, the individual or individuals would handle that between them and the government. They probably would have, like when you go to the hospital, fill out that form when you're signing in. They said, "Do you have any allergies?" Yes.
Then you get into the HIPAA law violations.
Hey, they don't know what. Okay, like when you tell the hospital because you're allergic to that drug, HIPAA law violation, or you want them to kill
I have to tell the hospital. Because if I don't tell them, they could give it to me and they'll kill
you.
me.
Have to tell the government because the government ain't gonna know shit.
It's more to everything than people actually think. You start looking at one thing and you just see it one way, but it's a whole bunch of branches that spread.
Yeah, I understand because that's what a lot of people say. What about, like, okay, what's the name? Son allergic to peanuts. I'll say, well, she's probably filling out the form. Well, my son's allergic to peanuts, this, that, and the other. They say, okay, then you can. They'll probably give them something extra of something else to replace it.
How do you get around canned vegetables and canned meat? How do you get around that?
Well, they got the other half. They can buy the regular meat.
I'm just asking because canned vegetables and canned meat.
High in sodium, yes.
Extremely high.
I'm very fucking aware of that.
So for somebody like you, it's not good. For somebody like
it's
me,
not good for anybody.
Exactly. But for somebody like me, I'm dead. That's exactly what it's gonna do. So now you take all these little kids with unknown or known health issues and you start pumping them full of sodium like that. Now you got little 7, 8-year-olds with heart conditions and high blood pressure.
And people they're not aware of what stuff can cause. Hell, these processed foods.
That's what I'm telling you.
Processed.
So now, well, wait. So now you got all these little kids that's getting sick and the parents are dying because they have unknown health issues from eating this garbage that you want to give them. So now what?
Processed food, high in sodium.
Now what? They're running to the doctor every other week. Now what?
I don't know.
There's more tax from people that's working.
Then they need to get off their asses and go to school.
It's more tax from people that's working.
Get a better job, and then you can afford your own.
It's easy to say get a better job, but not everybody can because of regardless of how people think. Regardless of people getting better jobs or not, you still have to have people to work the other jobs.
Well, that's the lackadaisical people.
I'm just telling you, it doesn't matter about saying get a better job because you still have to have people to do things like a lot of people don't want to be housekeepers or janitorial work or something like that. They don't want to do that stuff. It's beneath them.
How so? A job's a job.
That's what some people say. But some people feel like they're not going to do anything like that. But even if you choose that you don't want to do housekeeping or cook for other people, you don't want to be a custodian anywhere, somebody still has to do it.
Well, I don't know us, like, I understand that. And then you have the other people that will do the work. So the people that won't do the work feel like I'm too good for that. That's it, they ass out.
What's this to tell you?
Told you, like people that be working jobs, they just because they get overwhelmed by the work, they say, "Fuck this shit, I quit." Like, okay, like what's the name, son? Down there working at Volkswagen. Does he like that job?
I don't know. I think he works mainly because his mom said you need a job.
And on top, then when we was at that place and that lady said what that lady was complaining about. Man, I can't work these crazy hours.
She had a child, a young child. That was why.
I question whether I want to say where's the daddy at? Where your mom at? Where your mom at? See, I think what it is, we need to have families back together. We have one two mother and father, two incomes.
Yes, but the sad part is inflation. Everything else is so high. You need a 2-person income at least.
Hell yeah, like cause way back then you had one person. It was man. He worked. He had a house and 2 cars and a motherfucker went on vacation.
Everybody's overlooking the main problem, which is the greed of America, which is why food should not cost as much as it does.
You think?
It's rather ridiculous to walk into a grocery store to pick up a gallon of milk and it's like $6 for a gallon of milk.
That's Mayfield.
No, it's not always.
Who else?
They don't sell Mayfield everywhere.
I know they don't.
A gallon of milk is like $6. That's just too damn much money for milk.
My question to them is
a loaf of bread, almost $3.
Why
That's too much money for
my
bread.
question is why did yours have to be this high when I have this that's like $1 or $2 cheaper than yours? That's a reasonable price.
Go other places. Look how much cigarettes cost here. Go up north.
I've been up north.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not spending no $12, $15 or more for a pack of cigarettes. That's why what's his name down
And
there?
guess what? An asshole like you will say, quit smoking. I
tell you,
just quit smoking.
But I remember when I was with Cup.
But guess what? You can't quit eating because you have to eat to survive.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because here's the thing. Yeah, and Miss Minnie said that. She said, especially as people continue to scam the system. I'm like, scamming the system. So, like, government's like, it's trying to reduce fraudulent activity. Make it harder for, because you got $200, you can sell stamps for $100. Now, since you only get $100.
I told you not to rope me into this conversation. My own personal opinion, if you want to stop the fraud, then you need to stop the motherfuckers that's stealing all the money that's over the money.
Like the motherfucker.
That's who you need to stop.
Like that motherfucker with CNE. Hey, remember that dude called him out?
That old man called him out.
He said, this is nothing but a scam for y'all to take money.
Yeah, because he said she's going to go through all of this and fill out all this paperwork and you're still not going to help. And I'm sitting there like, he's right.
And then what happened a couple months later?
It still happened a few times. Every time they put somebody different over, they get busted for stealing money.
It ain't your money. What the fuck are you stealing?
Because it's there. I guess they feel like if I could take $75,000 and nobody ever know, or if I could take more than that these people don't know. All we do is decline them and then we pocket the money. Banks do it. Everybody does it.
Yeah, like I think
everybody does
like
it.
Bank Rob America.
The smartest job in the world would be to become a hacker. You know why?
Because people pay you.
That's one of the smarter jobs in the world.
I still $1,000 motherfucking. They ain't gonna know that shit missing.
Companies actually pay you to hack their system.
And
hack their own system.
And others their opponent's system.
That's a good job to have.
But okay, back to the story. I'm gonna let this play.
Okay, whether it's Section 8, whether it's food stamps, whether it's dental, whether it's vision. You may say, well, Ken, what about the veterans? I do believe the veterans should be taken care of.
Okay. From what I was told and has been stated in the proposal, 80% of the 100% will be affected. So veterans are not part of the 80%. The 20% are veterans, elderly people, people with disability. They are not affected by this. Only the able working class are affected. No, I'm sorry.
There should be something for the veterans. And if you are disabled, right? I think veterans and people that are disabled should be exempt, right? They shouldn't get a box of food. I do believe they should be able to have exempt. Some type of money, right? Whether it's retirement or maybe it's actually food stamps, right? Because if you fought for this country, and we all know that veterans have a hard time getting hired. For some odd reason, this country is supposed to support its troops, but veterans have a hard time finding work. A lot of veterans are homeless, right? So I do believe there should be a safety net, maybe not food stamps, but they should get more than the average American citizen, along with vision, dental, and health care. Now, if you are an able-bodied person, you should be working. There's no reason why you should be sitting at home collecting food stamps. And see, what people don't realize is that the government knows that you've been taking advantage of the system, meaning people have X amount of money on their EBT card, and they will sell their food stamps. I've been in the grocery store many of times, and someone will walk up to me and say, "How are you paying for your food?" I'll say, like everyone else is paying for it cash. They'll say, "No, I have an EBT card. For $50 cash, I will give you $100 worth of food stamps."
Oh, man. Miss Me, has that ever happened to you? I wish you could. But,
Where your shit at? You ain't selling up.
hey, I ate my shit up. That's why I said buy 4 more.
Just
Or more.
get what you want.
$4.
We'll go to the cashier and I'll swipe my EBT card. And after I swipe the EBT card, you will get $50 cash back and you will give it to me. The government is hip to that type of stuff. They're trying to stop it, right? They're trying to stop it. And what's going on is, on top of the government cuts, right? Because people want to know, why is this going on? It is not just because of fraud. See, resources are very scarce right now. The dollar isn't back on anything. You have wars popping out all over the globe, right? So the government has more money going out than coming in. This is the reason why this country is in debt, right? And so they're trying to attack the spending. This is the reason why the Republicans have a huge budget cut coming up, right? And in that budget cut, food stamps is in it, right? And X amount years, they will, meaning the government will save what? $100 to $200 billion. Right? And they're saying, listen, man, you guys are going to have to take care of yourself. The days of mommy government and daddy government are coming to an end. And this is the way people should take care of themselves. If you can't have kids, you can't afford to have kids, don't have them.
Ding, 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 ding.
Don't go out and have these kids, knowing you can't afford them, and then get on government assistance. Now you are looking at a box of food, 1 box of food. Wow, that is drastic cuts. That is drastic cuts. I bet you those box of food that they're giving out is the same box that they give out in third world countries. You're going to have to work and earn your keep.
I got a question. What's wrong with that? Working to earn their keep. And here's my question, bro. Do they think should you be able to give it given a time frame? Yeah, like you only have for like this X amount of time.
Yes.
I'd say 5 years max.
I don't think they should do it that long. And the reason why I said that is because if you know you can get stamps for 5 years and you're supposed to get out and look for work, then that's not good because you know. I think they should probably do it like minimum of 3 months. You know, you automatically get it for 3 months.
But I'll say this. The reason why I say 5 years is because
I know it's hard to find a job.
No. It's like, okay, our niece, Kristen, she got her bachelor's in business management.
Right.
That took how many years? 4? No. See, but that's if you're going to college for a 4-year degree. But I think 3 months is too. I want to say a year. You could have an associate's in something. But really, that's my opinion.
Well, like I said, it kind of depends, and it depends on what area you live in. But things are changing, and things are changing rapidly. So everybody shouldn't go to school and take up business or whatever. You got to take up something that's going to be around. The health field is always going to be around. Something in the health field, you're more than likely to be able to get a job in.
What did you just say? About like 15 minutes ago?
Anything with computers.
The technology is forever advancing.
Technology is always advancing, and it's so far ahead that we don't even know how far ahead it is, but it's very advanced. And people taking this stuff for a joke. They're talking about artificial intelligence. They have been replacing people on jobs with computers and robotics. People need to learn how to repair that stuff personally. You need to learn repairing and programming. And a millwright is a good trade to get into, because a millwright, you learn electrical.
You learn all the trades.
Yeah, you learn all the trades. So, hey, that's guaranteed to get you a job.
And it's a recession job.
Well, somebody's always going to need you.
Yeah, because shit breaks and you're going to need somebody to fix it.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's great to want to be a chef, but times may come where we may be stuck underground and you may need to know how to get some power for yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You got to be useful. You got to think of something that makes you useful. And yes, I can talk because I was an electrician.
At the doo-doo plant.
It doesn't matter where I was.
Yeah.
I was an electrician. So that means I know how to wire stuff.
Yeah, you want your house. Yeah, and you know how to write computer programs.
Yep.
Do you know how to write a virus?
Virus? Why would you ask me that?
Well, I can send that shit to somebody.
Oh, you need to stop that.
Miss Minnie, you know what I'm talking about. But all right, back to the video. I'm using this by way of fair use.
What is that old saying? It's not what your government can do for you, it's what you can do for your government. You will say, well, kid, what do you think about felons? People who went to jail, they got out, they've done everything they can do to clean the record. They can't. They have a felony on their record. What about them? I do believe they should receive some type of help, right? Some form of help.
Yes, but that I very much agree with that. For the ones that's trying to be productive member of society, yes, And I think the government should help felons to get a job and get on their feet. And Boo, I don't know. There's like 20 companies at least I know about that would hire felons. I will show the link if you know anybody that's, man, I can't find a job. You just show them this and just show them this list of all these companies.
What you calling me for?
Huh? You telling me?
Yeah.
No, I'm telling them about companies that hire felons. But back to the video.
Right? Why? Because they're not an able body. So then you'll have critics say, well, felons with the jail for a reason, right? If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. So it's his fault or her fault because they can't get a job. And since they can't get a job, they can't get welfare. They can't get anything but a box of food. And I will say this. You have a lot of men and women who are unjustly in jail. Right? So, regardless on how I feel about it, these laws will be implemented. The government has to cut back on their spending, right? Because they have more going out than they do coming in. And if you are working, you have a history of working and providing for yourself, this doesn't affect you. This does not affect you, right? Because you don't need the government. You haven't needed them. So them saying, well, we're going to cut back on spending and it's going to affect food stamps, you're not getting food stamps, so it doesn't apply to you, right? And again, people are going to humble themselves. It is going to get really, really hard for a lot of people who are not able to support themselves. A lot of people that have been couch potatoes, refuse to get up and get a job. And those are the people who messed it up for the veterans, for the disabled, for drug addicts that are trying to get clean, for single mothers. There's many different reasons they are single mothers, right? And when you think of a single mother, you say, well, she's a single mother, you think, well, it's her fault. And a lot of times it is her fault. However, her husband could have been murdered, or he could have died. He could have gotten incarcerated. He could have gotten laid off from his job, right? And so now she's going to need a helping hand from the government, and she's not going to be able to get it anymore. The only thing she's going to be able to get is a box of food. Canned goods, rice, beans. And when I say rice, it's not going to be jasmine rice. It's going to be that regular rice that's not good at all, right? Beans, pinto beans, maybe black beans, some canned goods, maybe peas, corn, peaches. People aren't going to like that. And beggars can't be choosy. If someone is giving you something, you really don't have the right to say, we don't want to use this, right? And you have people that are coming out, speaking out against this. However, if someone is giving you something, it's the same thing I tell these immigrants that come here. They come here and they complain about the immigration system and what the government is doing and what the government is giving them, saying the government isn't giving us enough. And I tell the immigrants, beggars can't be choosy, right? And it's the same for people who are getting government assistance. And I'm not calling people who get government assistance beggars. I'm not saying that, right? But they're looking at it like this, meaning the government. They're looking at it like this. We're giving this to you, right? We're giving this to you. This is the way they look at it. So you can't be choosy. If you don't like the box of food, you're not gonna, don't get it. Don't stand in line to get it. And I think people, and I doubt they're gonna send that box of food to your house. I doubt that, right? You're gonna have to get up, go to a church, go to a YMCA, go somewhere and stand in line and get a box of food. And American citizens, they really aren't going to like that. And I tell black men, all them women you wanted to talk to, they try to thumb their nose up at you, you're going to see them in that line, right? They're going to have to choose. I'm going to eat or I'm going to have to keep my car so I can get back and forth to work. A lot of people are going to have to start making sacrifices, right? Because once the government goodies go away, you are on your own, right? You're on your own, right? And why this is a good thing is that it's going to sting, right? It's going to sting for a very long time. But this will, hopefully, this will help people make better decisions on who they lay down with, right? You have people will, particularly women, because men, unless you are a veteran, men don't get too much from the government, right? So you say, well, people are going to have to start making sacrifices. So let's just say you are a single mom of one child. I mean, one child. You say, well, one child. Well, it's still expensive to raise a child, right? And you've been depending on food stamps for 4 or 5 years. Now the government is saying, listen, we are getting ready to do away with food stamps and give you a box of food.
See,
a box of food.
See what I just said, 5 years, then you have that damn, what is that called? You depend on something. And now since they're gonna change it, my opinion is like beggars cannot be choosers, as I say. So
the single mother is like, what? She's freaking out, right? Even if you are on disability, you're freaking out. You're like, well, what I'm going to do with a box of food? And you're going to have to improvise. It's sad. It's unfortunate. But this is where we're headed. This is where this country is headed. They got to tighten up on their spending. Right? This is one of the reasons why they're shutting the borders. They're deporting people. Not just people, undocumented immigrants, excuse me.
Thank you.
They're kicking them off of welfare. Speaking of undocumented immigrants, there's been a huge drop in food stamps from undocumented immigrants. Why? Because they don't want ICE to be able to identify where they stay and pick them up. It's a paper trail.
Oh yeah, I give them that. And so what do you think of what he said so far, Boo?
I wouldn't even pay no attention.
You wouldn't pay them no attention. But still, yeah. I think, now because of this, I think you're going to be more inclined on who you procreate with, a correct person, instead of dating a sorry, no good dude.
So the immigrant community is already dropping from government assistance, right? On top of that, into law that you have to be, if you're an immigrant coming to America, you have to be in America X amount of years before you can qualify. That's not get qualified.
Ooh, qualify.
For food stamps. So you see the hard hit on the immigrant community. And now the American community, right? Whether you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, if you are on government assistance, you're going to see a drastic cut. Devastating. That will change a lot. That's going to change a lot in America once people can't get what they're used to getting, right? Waking up in the morning, going to the store with their EBT card, getting lobster, getting shrimp, getting turkey, cheese, cereal, milk, gallons of water, fruits, vegetables, ice cream cones, cakes. See, Americans have come accustomed to, and not just Americans, I'm meaning Americans that use these benefits, right? They come accustomed to using these benefits, right? They're used to going into the supermarket and getting whatever they want. Now, they are faced with a food box. Wow. I was in the grocery store last month, and a lady was with her son, and I kid you not, and she had a bunch of food. And she went to swipe her EBT card, and the cashier said, "You don't have enough." Right? The cashier said, "You don't have enough." And she said, "Well, how much is on my card?" And the cashier said, like, 40-some bucks. The lady clearly had over $100 worth of food, right? And she was with her son.
I'm gonna tell you, because I used to be a cashier at Walmart, and these people come in and get all this food, and then get mad as hell. Some of them actually got mad at me because they didn't check their balance. They didn't see how much money was on the card. And I'm like, I put my hands up, and I'm like, you should have known what you would have had before you went to go spending. Because some people can't come in at midnight, because I work third shift. And their stamps wouldn't be in there right now. They'd be all pissed off and shit. I said, only person you should be getting mad at is yourself first for not checking your balance. And then you're supposed to go question and ask the people who provide the stamps. So I'm gonna let the video play now.
And I did help that lady out. I didn't buy all her groceries. I wasn't gonna, but I did help the lady out. However, I say that to say this. She's a single mother, and she had one child with her. Now, if she had more children, I don't know. But I'm assuming that she only had one child.
Here's my question. Where's the father? He's in prison, I will understand. Or be dead. The majority, but 9 times out of 10, he's alive. Probably don't want to be with her. Or he probably with another woman. Probably got kids with the other woman, but yeah.
Because I've seen her with her son, right? So let's just say she had one child. If she can't afford enough food for that one child and herself, what do you think a box of food is getting ready to do?
Here's the thing about EBT. This is what I found out. But in the state of Tennessee, in order to qualify for food stamps, your gross for two people, it's like a little over $1,600. Well, she said it don't went up, but you had to make this X amount. You had to make the most you can make is like $1,600. You had to make less than that in a month, qualify for food stamps. So. Oh, there's nothing wrong with buying fruits and vegetables. The thing about it is, majority of the time, have you ever been to a gas station and you see somebody buy some junk food with an EBT card? And I look at them like, no, you could have bought a real meal with that instead of buying junk. I'm not saying you can splurge a little bit. Don't splurge like 60-40 or 40-60 on junk. That's all I'm saying.
They should shop like we grocery shop.
You know, and
see, but that's the thing.
When we go grocery shopping, we go in and we get all our meat.
Yeah, that's what we do.
First.
We go get all our meats first, and where we go to Food City and have this. Well, no, I'm just saying. I'm speaking for us. We have this thing called what is it? Pick 5. Where you get pick 5 meats for $20. So you can get 10. You can get 10 for $40. Sometimes they actually have a deal where you pick 5 for like 14. No, it's pick 5 for $14.99.
That's $15.
Yeah, $15. But they don't. You have to catch them when they do that deal. Yeah, so he's spending $50 on all junk. And see.
Do you realize that some people have never been taught how to do things?
Okay.
I mean, it's certain things seem like it should be common sense, but you have to realize not everyone has common sense.
Okay, you remember this in school, but they gave you $5. You had $5.
Who gave me $5?
No, you had this thing in school. They gave you a calculator. You had all the food that price was at this time. At this time, food was this price compared to now. And you had to buy as much stuff as you could with $5 on this time frame compared to now. So much shit you could buy with the $5 back then. Like you was.
Damn sure can't buy it now.
Nah, and see, and then when you go to it now, what the teacher wanted to see was who was prioritizing what was needed, like bread, eggs, milk, shit like that. So see, they don't have that no more in school. They need to bring that back so people can know what, compared to this is what I want instead of what I need. This is what I need instead of what I want.
That's one part of the biggest problem because people get what they want, not what they need.
And that's junk. I want some junk food.
Feels like this before, right? So this is you don't need to gather any talking points for this. You just press record and let it flow, right? Because I think everyone is familiar with the government and what they do for the citizens a lot, right? And now people are going to have to change the way they interact with people now, right? You can't act like you're high on a horse anymore, right? Those days are over. You're going to have to humble yourself. If you need food, you no matter how you look, you can be gorgeous. You have to stand in line. You have to stand in line with the rest of the American citizens and get your box of food, right? And this is what Trump means by cleaning the swamp, draining the swamp. They want Americans to do for themselves, right? Again, I do believe if you are a veteran, you're on disability, or you're a felon and you just get out of jail and you're looking for work, if you're actively looking for work, there should be some type of help for you. Now, whether you should get money or a food box, that's up to the government. It's out of my hand. I can only give, I have have no control over that. I can only give my opinion on this story. So I don't want people to come to the comment section saying, "Oh, were you like?" Listen, it doesn't matter what I say, right? The government is planning on changing the rules, right? All I can do is provide my input, right? And if you're not on government assistance, this don't have absolutely nothing to do with you. This isn't going to affect you at all unless you know someone and they're going to be directly hit or hurt. But
you know anybody that's on it?
I'm sorry. What?
Do you know anybody that's on food stamps?
I don't know.
They do.
I do.
3D Atari football player. She's one of those people that just buy nothing but fucking junk. But don't from your observations, you say all she does is buy fucking junk and juices. Nothing wrong with juice, but she buys it in like Sam's Club quantities.
Hello? Hey, man. What's going on?
But I'm gonna let the video play. What's up, Black?
Violence.
I knew you were.
And we all know what the government has done to Black America, the Black community. So if you are aware of what this government has done to the Black community as far as welfare, especially welfare, right? Welfare took the father out of the home, right? So I don't believe this is going to bring families together. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't, right? But it will make people critically think before they have a child, before they lay down and have a child, because they're not going to have government mommy and daddy wiping the sweat off their foreheads anymore. Again, those days of food stamps recipients going into grocery stores and buying whatever they want, right? And selling those food stamps are numbered. It's very unfortunate, but it should happen, in my opinion, right? Because you'll have people that listen to this video and they will comment in the comment section and say, well, you're saying X, Y, and Z, and this will happen. It doesn't matter what I say. I'm not making the rules. I'm just giving my opinion on what is going to take place or what Trump wants to take place. And yeah, he's gonna get a lot of backlash off of it. But you know, then again, it looks like it's going to happen, right? You have news anchors, you know, giving people the pros and cons of it, and I mean, if you ask me, there's really no pros to government giving out food in a box, because you know you're not going to get what you want. You know, and I think that Americans should not want the government in their business, right? Or telling them what to eat, what to drink. This is another form of, listen, if I'm providing for you, it's mommy and daddy, literally. It's like when you're a child, right? Your mother provides the food for you. Your mother and your father provide, well, your mother cooks the food, but your dad brings the money home. Or, you know, if your mother and your father are working, both of them bring the money home. Or if you grew up or if you are in a single parent household, you eat whatever your mother has, right? Okay, you eat whatever your mother fixed, right? The government saying, listen, you will eat whatever we put in that box. If not, you're not going to eat. Starve to death.
Hey, are you on the phone? Well, does anybody remember that when you was young and your mom and dad, what I'm saying, you're going to eat this food. If not, you ain't going to eat nothing for the rest of the day because you didn't like what was on the food. I know people have done that before.
Right? And that's pretty much the ultimatum they came down on Americans. how this works. I'm out. Peace.
Let's see.
What you gonna do for your birthday? She said, I'm supposed to go to Ichiban. I said, okay, then. She said, come get me. I don't wish you.
That's the thing.
That was what she said. Yeah, she still got it.
No, I'm gonna show you something. This is what happens when people want to take advantage of the system.
That's funny. Because you know, I told you he doesn't have a physical.
These people are called fucking hood boogers.
Who knows?
Did you see this?
She said she made them. Yeah.
Hey you guys, it's your girl Tina. I want to go ahead and shout out JP Engagement Access. This story
I'm using it by way of fair use. So let's get it.
Okay, so I told you what I'm going to have to do for
Trump weekend at 10. The shopping frenzy happened at the Walmarts in Mansfield and in Spring Hill. KSLA News 12's Victoria Shirley explains what happened and shows you the chaos that was all caught on tape.
Fair use. I'm using this by way of fair use.
Shoppers in 2 Arklatex towns looking to do some grocery shopping on Sunday found bare shelves and empty food bins.
But everything is gone. I've never seen in that condition.
Shopper Anthony Fuller says the big box store in Mansfield looked like someone raided it. He's not far off. Hundreds packed both the Mansfield and Spring Hill Walmart Saturday night. Once word spread, they were accepting electronic benefit transfers or EBT cards with no limits.
Now I'm gonna ask y'all this: how many people you see that's white, or the majority of people you see there? What's the race you normally see?
Police were called in to
What is
control the
that?
crowd. Spring Hill Police Chief Will
black
Lynn
people.
says people piled their cars full of food for 2 hours. But when balances started showing up on carts again, people rushed out, abandoning their carts and leaving behind a huge mess. One man captured the aftermath with cell phone video.
Oh, when we walked through the door, it was like a tornado had came through.
OJ Evans and a friend were there to buy a t-shirt.
Gone
When they
away.
saw dozens of full and abandoned carts, he only thought one thing.
I was just thinking Facebook and Instagram. The shelves empty.
While he can be heard laughing in the video, Evans says he felt bad for the employees that would have to restock the food.
I was just thinking, oh my God, I'm so glad my mom doesn't work here anymore.
Evans says it was a natural human reaction that led people to fill up their carts during the glitch. But couple Stan and Judy Garcia feel very differently.
That's plain theft. That's stealing. That's all I can say about it.
We asked Walmart spokesperson Caleb Whalen if the company would be taking the loss on any food purchased on the carts not showing balances. Whalen would only say that they monitor transactions during the outage. Victoria Shirley, KSLA News 12. Now that Walmart spokesperson tells us they know their customers were counting on them during the outages and made the decision to continue accepting the EBT cards so that they could get food for their families. A spokesperson for the Louisiana Department of Children and Family Services tells KSLA News 12 they take all allegations of potential fraud seriously. They are aware of the problems and they will be investigating.
I understand why people are on it, but majority of the people that you saw in that video, who were they?
Man, I said I need to call my mama, tell her about this.
Who were they? What race were they? Of course there's more white people on it, on assistance. There's more of them than us.
For real.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Run the clock out. It's that time for
who's winning?
Go on the state, of course.
What score?
He's 439.
There's no question about it. Welfare,
And they
who
beat-
needs it, who
No.
gets it, is changing across the world.
This time
Earlier,
to
we
sit
heard
down.
about how
Okay, Bobby.
income
This
tax
time
is
to sit
affecting the
down.
same as here in the UK.
They need their
Across
break.
the Atlantic, 1
Okay,
in 6
rent.
Americans are now using food stamps.
Never heard
Federal
what he
payments
used to
each
do.
month to help cover the bills at the supermarket. The numbers dependent
Yeah,
on
he
the
got a
scheme
big old
spiked during the
box right
financial
there in
crisis,
his room.
but have stayed
It's like
high,
somebody just burnt
despite
that part
recent
of his
signs
hair
that
out.
the US economy is growing again. Our economics editor Faisal Islam travelled to the
Look,
traditionally
ooh,
wealthy
yeah,
Rhode
yeah.
Island on the east coast of America, where he found the use of food stamps is moving up the income scale to reach those who have always thought of themselves as the
Come on,
traditional
KD.
middle class.
It would have been a 3.
For 1/6 of Americans, the economic recovery is far from golden. Food stamps, rebranded as EBT or Electronic Benefit Transfer, is the calling card of America's working poor.
They stomping their ass.
Here in Rhode Island, between New York and Boston, this electronic card meant to control welfare spending on food is gold in color. And in this state, some towns are so dependent on this federal money that the economy runs to the timetable of the gold card. First every month, Gold Card Day, a backdoor local stimulus. The cards are topped up with hundreds of dollars of cash from Washington, and the trolleys and car parks of the supermarkets fill up as well. That's when everyone gets their food stamps. At a nearby farmer's market, even here, about a third of the custom comes this way.
You get the gold card, and that's what everyone calls it, or a lot of people call that. And
There's nothing wrong
at the first of the month, they
buying
automatically give you the money onto the account,
vegetables
and then it works like
and
a
fruits.
debit card. So if you go to a store, you just swipe it,
No,
and you enter in like your phone number and all that.
Across America, this card and this program, fully funded by the US government, has become a symbol of a two-tier America. The supermarkets
Look there,
use
they
it
don't like you
not
tricking
key
my food.
to display their use.
They see you spending food stamps and they judge you for what you're buying. And it could be as little as, oh, you wanted, I am a healthy shopper. But
Yeah,
you
see,
want
they keep
ice
showing
cream
from
today.
every angle.
And the person
It don't
behind
look
you
like you
online,
tricked him
they'll
up.
judge you for that. And now it's not so bad because you have a card.
Whose
They don't know
hair is
whether
that?
it is, but they can
That's
still
how your
see the
hair look
card.
better.
And some of the cashiers will ask you, well, is it EBT? So right there. So it does. It makes it
That's why DK ain't coming.
From the outside, Bristol, Rhode Island looks rather wealthy. There are yachts, the classic New England weatherboard housing, but behind these
Their
walls
mom
are
said,
many
"Where's
with
Nick
jobs
Young?"
who are struggling without state
I
help.
don't even know who the fuck that is.
Stamps are the symbol of a two-tier American recovery. Republicans are now attempting to remove a quarter of the program's budget in order to cut the deficit. So here we have it, the mighty dollar, the greenback,
All right, B.
symbol of the affluence of the USA,
Me?
particularly
Oh.
in a place like this, Bristol, in Rhode Island.
Well, I'll be making ribs.
New kid on the block,
Well,
piece of
wife's
plastic
gonna make some ribs.
called the EBT card, the electronic
Yeah, your ass is making
transfer,
ribs.
part
You
of
ain't
the
going nowhere.
SNAP program from the federal government, better known as food stamps. There's nearly 50 million of these in the US now. That's more than doubles. That's more than the population of Spain. It's practically a new currency. How often do you come here?
Once a month.
Rita and her son Radley explained to me how they use Rhode Island's new currency. Radley gets a fixed monthly allowance of food stamps for his disability.
In my workplace, at least 3 to 4 people that are doing this.
All working.
Working and
all
doing it
drawing a
also.
wage.
Yeah. And they have families they're trying to support, and and all that is they're not just single people.
Yeah, it is.
Do they just aren't the jobs, or they just aren't the high-paid jobs, or what? What is it? It seems bizarre. You sort of think that if you work, could
Yeah, well,
get
we don't
by.
make we don't make enough.
He ain't supposed to be
People
playing.
don't make enough. And
Tom,
Did you buy local stamps?
injured himself working, explains the typical pattern of usage that sees supermarkets in these neighborhoods boom on the first of every month. So it's the same gold card.
Yes,
It's gold.
same
It's
gold.
not the Amex gold.
No, I was hoping for the platinum.
So you get the money goes in on the first.
Goes in on the first. They give me $200 for the month, and the food bank substitutes anything that I can't get on this card.
So Are you finding that $200 stretches over the whole month, or does it sometimes fall a bit short?
It's sometimes a little short, but I've been managing to stretch it out.
Of your friends, of your neighbors, how many?
I don't know.
Also something.
I really don't know. It's not something
It's not
People
real.
don't talk about
People don't want to talk.
Yeah, there's a stigma, unfortunately, attached to
Oh, it's called shame.
And I'm, to be honest, we don't talk about it either. Yeah. We don't.
I met Tom, Rita, and Radley at a Bristol food pantry. Here from 2 years ago, they realised that the food stamps were not lasting the month. But even that's changed recently.
It's really kind of a hidden problem.
Karen, who runs the operation serving 1 in 10 of the residents of this seemingly wealthy town, tells me why.
The food stamp money would last them about 3 weeks, and then that they needed something to fill in the gap.
What were they doing in that final 2 days?
Then they would come to food pantries and get stuff to hold them over the end of the month. Lately, food prices have gone up. There have been cuts to the SNAP benefits, and we haven't seen that pattern as much. We're pretty much as busy at the beginning of the month as we are at the end. I think people are seeing what they can get at the pantry and then filling in what they can't get with the food stamps, because that's not going to last.
Back in 2000, just over 17 million Americans were receiving food stamps. That number edged up over the decade, but then exploded after the financial crisis in 2008. Stayed there, standing this year at just shy of 48 million people. That's 1 in 6 Americans. Each household gets, on average, $274 a month. That's about £180. Down the road in Providence, the logistical centre for Rhode Island's food banks is preparing for the holiday rush of demand. You can drop food off here, but not pick it up. Bankers queue up to sort through donations of surplus food from multinationals.
Whole grain lasagna, they just pop the top and put it in the microwave.
Right now, the challenge is to manage the spike in demand caused by the inability of many Rhode Island families to pay for food for children during school holidays.
Think of it, if you are a parent and your child is now out of school, you have 2 more meals a day that you have to be taking care of. Not only that, it's summertime and the kids are out and they're active and they're hungrier than ever. And they're coming to you and saying, Mom, what's for lunch? And so now you can see it's got everything in there. It's got your cereal, it's got granola bars, crackers, juices.
They've stocked up in the logistical centre warehouse, but more lean and efficient food manufacturing means there are less unsold surpluses to donate to the poor, generating a new type of funding crisis here. And there's a more fundamental change afoot.
Very basic. Potatoes, apples, onions, carrots.
What used to be this nation's middle class.
Poverty in America used to be isolated in urban settings, in rural settings that most people didn't see. Now it's very public. So many people know someone who's had a terrible time since 2008. So it's much closer to home.
This is the calling card of how, even though joblessness is now lower than Britain, working America, the great middle class, are finding it tough to make ends meet. Are far from golden recovery. Faisal Islam, Channel 4 News, Rhode Island.
And that's how it really is.
There's no question about it. Welfare, who needs it, who gets it, is changing across the world. Earlier, we heard about how the so-called bedroom tax is affecting the disabled here in the UK. Across the Atlantic, 1 in 6 Americans are now using food stamps. Federal payments each month to help cover the bills at the supermarket. The numbers dependent on the scheme spiked during the financial crisis, but have stayed high, despite recent signs that the US economy is growing again. Our economics editor Faisal Islam travelled to the traditionally wealthy Rhode Island.
Yeah. And we're using all these wicked videos by way of fair use.
Yeah, then what you gonna have to
This is where I usually stop on a pretty much daily basis to get gas or get something to eat. And when I call my Superman juice, Red Bull, that helps me out on the daily basis. I know it's not good for you, but it helps. Getting up so early doesn't give me the time to stay home and actually get a nice home cooked meal. So Thanks to Wawa, get it on the go. Stop here for about 5-10 minutes. Get some to eat in me and then take off and go on the road again.
That was when you had decided to go.
Yeah, he can make him something to eat.
Play in traffic, race in traffic or something.
But he doesn't want to. That lackadaisical mindset.
We have the latest statistics from the U.S. Census Bureau to give us a very specific measurement of how poor the city of Reading is compared to the rest of the country. And we have the fortunate distinction of being named the poorest city in the country of any city of 65,000 population or greater.
The biggest thing has been the loss of jobs. I think the number one most devastating one was when AT&T, when Lucent Industries closed their office here in Reading. There were over 700 people who were laid off and lost their jobs.
I think today for residents in the city of Reading, it's a daily struggle to get by, to pay for basic needs, to get access to health care that you need, to put food on your table, and to care for your children. I don't know what the answer is. I mean, I think the dilemma is how in the world are we going to get jobs back for people? And it has to happen soon because people don't have hope. If you grow up without hope, then you just are going to give up. And then another generation will come along, and then it gets harder and harder, and it becomes more entrenched.
If you are poor, do not bring a child into a poor situation.
My birthday is 2 weeks away.
My name's Glenn Kagerat, and 46 years old. I live in Reading, Pennsylvania. I live here with my daughter, Kelsey. She's 16. I lived here basically my whole life. I went away in the Marines for 4 years, and I came right back. I went to Remcon Plastics, and I started out as a machine operator and worked my way up there and was a supervisor for 14 years. The pay wasn't great, but it was consistent, and my wife was working at the same time. So between the two of us, we made a decent living.
Then, he lost his job, and my sister had worked at Lucent's, and she lost her job, so they all lost their jobs. And, for a while, they were all maintaining with unemployment and stuff like that. But, I mean, they probably even on that almost 2 years. Little by little, the expenses don't change, your income changes, but the bills don't change.
Yeah, I got stuff upstairs to pack. I just want to go up. When my wife and I moved in with my brother. And now my brother's ill, and he's in Florida. He's with his son. Regular bills are paid, but the mortgage never got touched because there wasn't that kind of money to do it. So I'm basically freeloading the house until it's taken away. The house is already in the process of foreclosure. I yell at my kids if they don't come down with a box. Everything's being piled in.
Ain't nobody gonna buy that house.
Get it close to the front door, easily access to get out. In case I don't have a lot of help when I have to go. So I keep bringing it in, so getting it all together, getting it out of here, so as we can move whatever we got to wherever we're going. Don't know that yet. Without my family, I'd be out in the street now, and I know that.
Everybody worked all of their lives, and it was difficult to see things falling apart as they did. You try to help each other out, but you don't always have the means to do it. When we look at the issues facing the city of Reading, we're able to look at some of the root causes that result in
All right, we're gonna do something.
You got your oil change and everything. Why you sound so sad, man?
The lost art of storytelling.
You ain't got no music.
Fair use. I have no rights to this video. I give all this to the artist. This is a storyteller.
My partner a long time ago, I knew a bad bitch. She kind of flow, still gave it up when it's a few of us. Let me bang a fucker on the school bus. Because her run train, she wanna hang with us with one thing. Just penetrating that dope, dog. She choke on it like smoke, dog. Whenever I fuck to my re-up, in the dice game, we go see her. She killing nothing by quarter ounce, then blow that reefer. She buy niggas who speak up, pay the bill on my people. Just she can pay for the 69, and I know it's time to go freak up. Then one day I just asked her, why you always get asked her? I mean, damn, me hoes get paid or you get laid. This shit don't add up. She say, tell all I wanna do is feel love. Even if I know it ain't real love. Even if I know a nigga only finna hit it, then never call back, I still fuck. And that fucked up. She so trill, I need some, she go still. When the trail hot and police ride, nigga, get where we go. For about 4 years, she held dope with my 4 pounds till it go down. I remember shouting, she stayed down. I won't say her name, she married now. I think of all the madness in my head. All of the things that I did back then. Oh, and
Man, baby, now.
Your mama. Your daddy, nigga.
She would always turn heads when she fall to. She would always make moves, top off. And she never gave either nigga time of day. She the chick all the niggas try to talk. But when it came to me,
Am I nuts?
when we came, she rolled up the weed for me. And we both could laugh, both up in the cut. See if there was this coming. We got close over time, her and I. Right around the time that I first got time. Come to think about it, I was about 17. I ain't even have a license. Couldn't even drive. I was going back and forth with each flight. Another show after show each night. She became so suspicious of these other bitches. She go through my phone and we fight.
How come these rappers can't storytell like they do?
Wasn't really much space for us. She stayed down with every tour she see me do. But I guess one night I had a few. One night I had a few. Yeah, little chick that caught my eye. I told her hurry up, meet me at the room. No, I didn't have a contraceptive. Now my common sense neglected. 2 months later, next thing I know, I got a text that I'm pregnant.
Did you know she kept it? That's the reason why you left me. How about all that? Wasn't even mine. I went and got paternity test. Damn. Hey, Black, you remember the Lost Art of Storytelling? Nobody's storytelling no more. I'm like, anybody can rap and tell me they storytelling. A-Ball and Debbie, that was storytelling.
Wait,
hold up,
is that you? With them big old guys after school. J305, I gave me high five when I said I'm in hot pursuit. Said I won't ride until Kendrick drive a new Monte Carlo that cruise. And that shut my pride, I tried to improv, but no freestyle, I never do. You looking for the nigga with the tall and spinning. You overlooking every nigga that ain't quite ready. To make it rain on you like a bucket of break a levy. Hold up, bitch.
Yo, pussy back at me. Yeah, yo,
your head, your cell phone is selfish. Shit, only got numbers that come with a Hummer.
No, this ain't Outkast. This Hope. And I tried to make some time. Hope. Now I ain't got the time or the patience to stop and wait and I hope.
Her dreams don't Versace. She far from Armani. Only deal with rich niggas. Fuck you and make around me. I'm grown now. I'm on my own now.
Bitch, change my phone now. When I get home now, I got shit. Fast forward, wait, is that you? With them big old guys after school? Them 3 kids, baby daddy, same car, no, that's over 2. I know. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, wasn't she on Love and Hip Hop? Chris Stevens? I thought you were.
The garbage ass show.
But you watched the garbage ass show.
Not really. Not really. I don't. I've seen the garbage ass show, but I don't watch it.
Seeing and watching the same damn thing.
No, it's not.
How it's not?
Because it could be on around me. I don't pay that shit no attention.
Boy, if this fight happens, this is what I want Triple G to do to Canelo.
I gotta finish watching the
The champ is in bad shape, Jim. Creed realized he has a better chance of hurting Colin to the body than to the head.
And Creed staggers back. Body. To the body, trading shots.
Going with his jab. Creed looks to land one big shot.
Ooh! You know what? I gotta give him that though. Hey, I can sing. They say singing relieves and lowers your blood pressure. So I'll sing any damn thing if I know it. You said that's Diana Ross's daughter, right?
I can't see none of that shit.
The light skin is. Get out there.
I can't see it, but if it's Tracy Ellis Ross, yes. With the big ass eyes.
Creed just got up like a man possessed. He was out, but not out. Colin thinks he's still hanging out. But the referee is cuffing Creed close. Creed beats the count, and the action begins again. That's the heart of a champion. Yes, it's Danny's heart.
All right, let's go.
Hey, what do you do for Colin? Body shot. Body shot. Trying to stick Creed up with the great job over that right eye, but now the left eye looks like it's almost shut.
Hurt.
He's taking a lot of punishment to both the body and the head. Left eye completely closed.
Stop this thing. No, let me see the eye. Dad, go, give him a look. Show me your eye. Show me your eye, Dad.
No.
How many fingers? How many fingers?
Oh.
How many of them is 4? And again. 2. Time in! Alright, breathe through your mouth. Deep breaths, kid. Deep.
You are unconscious winning this. You are gonna win this. But just keep on. Keep away from me. Go and sleep this time. It's going out this round.
I should stop this earlier, bud. Stop this one now. No, okay. Let me finish. I gotta prove it. Prove what? I'm not a mistake.
I never got a chance to thank Apollo for helping me out after Mickey died. But it's nothing compared to what you've done. You taught me how to fight again. I'm going to go home and I'm going to fight this thing. But if I fight, I want you to fight too. I want you to go across this ring and knock that son of a bitch down. Can you do it? Say it.
Well, knock that son of a bitch down.
I know you are. You know why? Because you're a Creed. And I love you, kid.
Oh.
What?
Touching.
Oh, that's.
Should have stopped this earlier, bud. Stop this one now.
No, okay, let me finish. I gotta prove it.
Prove what?
I'm not a mistake.
You knew all this way by fair use. Fair use. I want tonight to do this to Canelo so bad.
Taught me how to fight again. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna fight this thing. But if I fight, I want you to fight too. I want you to go across this ring and knock that son of a bitch down. Can you do it? Say it.
Well, knock that son of a bitch down.
I know you are. You know why? Because you're a Creed. And I love you, kid.
Round 12 begins. No one outside of Adonis Creed's
I didn't know he was going
would ever have expected to see him in a 12th
Dude,
round
nigga.
against Freddie
look.
As they come to these last 3 minutes. Hard left hook upstairs.
Get him.
Every time you want to say it's the beginning of the end, the other guy comes through a shot you can't believe. Hard right hand by Conlon. It's leading shots in the kind of back and forth action that most of us didn't expect to see. Reed getting hit with some hard shots, but landing some of his own and Adonis just firing back.
Yeah.
Another pitched battle between the two warriors. Come on, kid. Reed spins, puts the champ in the corner. Throwing body shots like he's Rocky Balboa. Going upstairs like he's Apollo Creed. Closing seconds of the fight. Conlon is down. That is the first time in his career he's been on the canvas.
That's it.
Cannot be saved by the bell in the 12th and final round. Push it down. Dramatic count. He might get up to preserve the guys. All right. Look at that. Look at that. All right. The bell sounds. So Conlon survives the 12th round. One finish. If that round goes another 7 seconds, we may have a new champion. An unforgettable fight on an unforgettable fight. He's no longer just the namesake of Apollo Creed. He's the living embodiment.
Shit, Doc, there's gotta be a button. I'm stopping this one now. No, okay, let me finish.
Okay, yeah, I need you to come over here. I need you to show me how to look up other mug shots in other states and cities.
Tell somebody to give you a name of another county or something.
You know what? I'm doing Indianapolis. Y'all know where I'm going with this. I don't know where he fucking lives, what county, but I'm just gonna go with state of Indianapolis. Damn! This nigga got a warrant for child support, $3,400. Okay, I'm gonna do this.
Organic Asian grains like barley or quinoa. Just add protein and vegetables to create delicious new flavors. You know once you don't discover.
Okay, we're gonna be playing the mugshot game. I'm gonna do this though. Okay, thank you guys for watching the stream. All the videos that I showed, those are all the content, all the rights go to the content creators, even that little video I played.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. It's already mine.
All right, guys. I'm finna get off here. You can like, subscribe, comment. Till the next video. This is Realist, and I'm out.